By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Get him. Get him.
What is going on, everybody? You're tuning in to another episode of 20 Tim Minutes. I am your host, Tim McCarthy. This is a podcast that focuses on mental health through humor, insight, and personal stories. If you are a follower and a listener of this podcast on the regular, you just noticed that I did my own introduction. And usually when I do that, it's kind of a serious topic or a serious episode, but I will get into that at the end of the episode. So stay tuned. Episode 57. I can't believe how many episodes I've done. When I go back to something I've said, I'm like, oh, it's probably episode 45. And I'm like, wait, I did that in episode 10? I was like, episode 10 was so long ago. I wonder, I don't listen to my own episodes, so I wonder how they compare to now. So if you listen to every episode, let me know what changed. I figure out my DNA of the show is I start off with the introduction, obviously, talk a little bit about myself, then a little bit about what's going on in the mental health world. So I think that's my new DNA with the show, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here. So that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't know. There's my lights behind me, a different. I don't know how to do my lighting in my episode on YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing half the time in this room. But yeah, if you don't know me, go to 2010minutes.com and get all my information on there, where to listen. You can download the 2010 Minutes app on Android and iPhone. Thanks to Appetizers LLC for helping me out with that. On my website, you can submit a question or comment, or if you need terrible life advice, send it over. This one recently was Jeff from the Podcast Father. He's huge on the internet for independent podcasters, and he just asked, how do you do it? I don't know what he's talking about, but he's probably just talking about me living or doing the podcast. And Jeff, I don't know. I don't know how I do it, but I made a promise to myself that I would keep on doing it until the wheels fall off. And these wheels, they're a little shaky, but they got some mileage on them, and I think they're going to be okay. I've been on a couple great podcasts lately. Again, I have my interviews starting to come back out early January. I think I said January 6th, but I'm not a real company, and I think I'm going to push that back. So if you're waiting for those, you can just go back and listen to all my old ones, which are all great. I was just on an Instagram live earlier today with the Inner Idiot podcast with Tyler, and it was pretty funny. He asked a bunch of silly questions, which I love. And I like going on other people's shows, even though if it doesn't pertain to mental health, it's just good promotion regardless to get it out there. So I'll pretty much do anyone's show. If you need me on your show, call me up. I work for nothing. And then I had a great episode with Chris from The Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success. Great human being. Talked a lot about mental health and the stigma, obviously, and just those hard conversations. He was one of the few interviews I've done where you get down to the nitty gritty. And he's Canadian, and he's a great guy. Oh man, guy. Hey bud. So yeah, check out those. So update with me. I've been pretty manic lately. It's very tough. I finally got in touch with my therapist. I haven't met her yet, but I called the office and was like, hey, what's going on? I'm not doing too hot and I need to talk to somebody. And I'm just pissed that I don't know how much she's going to know about me. I don't want to start over. Hopefully she knows a little bit, but then again, it's she doesn't know all the characters in my movie, who they are, what I've been doing, doesn't know my personality. I Googled her to see what she looked like, which I didn't really need to do, but I just need to know what I'm getting. I don't want to be surprised. I'm never surprised. Not that it matters what they look like. I just like to know what I'm getting into. So I can be not surprised, oh, I know who you are. So I know who she is. And I did a little research. I always do my research, just a little bit. That makes me go by. But yeah, man, my manic episodes have been pretty bad. And when I get really bad, I get laser focused where I can't stop myself. Where if I'm in a bad mood or I'm trying not to say something or do something, I know that it's not right to do, but I'll do it anyway. I get really nasty sometimes with things I say. I think I brought this up before, is I'm very good at undressing people, from head to toe. I'll like use a lot of things against them. It's not like, it's not something like I'm proud of. I feel like a lot of people with bipolar have those like lash out moments. And I can feel it. And I'm like, I was like, just fucking relax. I tell myself to relax all the time. My username before used to be Relax Tim because I had a rap blog called Relax and Take Notes, and it was kind of like ironic because I don't relax. I don't know how to relax, Tim, and that's what I need to talk to my therapist about. I need to like find like how to. I think it's like what the CBT or DBT, the help that cognitive behavior therapy, where I stop fucking doing crazy shit, and I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because my brain thinks for itself, if that makes sense to you. And it sucks. Like I think about all these things that I don't really ask for or want to think about. It's like the future, like scenarios that are made up in my head, or things that I think are happening and they're not. Like I don't feel like I'm like psychotic, but it's just like the shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I always compare like Doctor Strange, where I'm like thinking of like a million different outcomes and shit. And it just drives me crazy. It's very exhausting. Um, and I get really bummed out. I always talk about this too. I know sometimes I feel like I'm repetitive with my episodes. I do apologize, but I always get like brought back down to earth when I'm like, yeah, this shit's going to be with me forever. And I'm on this medication, but what happens next when I get too used to it? I get really scared a lot. And it's like that scene, and I Think You Should Leave, when Tim Robinson can't drive. And he goes,
I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm fucking scared.
that's me. But I have such a great support system, and my circle's a lot smaller than it used to be, which I don't mind. Um, it's not that I don't trust a lot of people. I feel like I've had like inadvertently falling outs with people, um, which is fine. Everyone has their own lives, and people just fall out of contact with one another, and sometimes you just don't like people anymore. But no, I do have some good people, and I've been having a rough go at it, and a lot of people have come out to show support with what I got going on. And in bad times, you know who your friends are, the ones that reach out and then continue to reach out. And I don't push them away, or I try not to. I've pushed a lot of people away because I know I'm a lot to deal with, and it sucks. It just really sucks to realize that you work so hard, and I work so hard to get where I am now, but I can still work hard because I always want to be better than I am, and I feel like I'm not even doing well now. I know, like, compared to 2019, I kind of wish I started this show in 2019 so you can see how fucking bad I was. But, like, when I compare, like, I am better, but I'm not as good as I want to be. And, like, I don't know what to do. Um, but yeah, it's just like I'm like happily depressed. I fucking love that saying because people are like, "Oh, how's things?" I'm like, oh, I'm terribly happy." Oh no, I say, yeah, I just said it. I'm like happily depressed, and they're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be fine." I always say that to myself, like, "I'll be fine," and I usually am because like things kind of fall into place for me. Not like I'm lucky, but if I just kind of like take a step back, which I'm doing now, where I'm going day by day instead of like worrying about the future and stuff. But again, it's like when I'm alone and by myself and on my hour car ride to and from work, my thoughts go everywhere and I can't even like shut them off. I can't like change my mind. It just, it just sucks. It's funny enough, like I listen to a lot of music on to and from work. Like I try to listen to some podcasts, but like I've told you guys, I'm kind of not a big podcaster listener, so I do apologize. I'll support my podcasting friends and I'll listen to like an episode or two and give them like a review. And but I always show support on this show for other podcasters because it's hard out there in the streets for an indie podcaster. But I was looking up some other things, so I guess this is great, by the way. Listening to your favorite music may prevent cognitive decline, which I love. I always talk about this with music when you're older. Like back in the day, you had like the old people now, they listen like 1920s music was like now like you got to think of like your favorite song now and it's like probably very aggressive. So as an 80-year-old, you're going to be like listening to Project Pat Chicken Head, like whoop whoop chicken 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 head. So a study in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that listening to music that's meaningful to you can increase cognitive performance for Alzheimer's patients. The study was conducted with 14 patients with mild cognitive impairments or Alzheimer's. 6 were musicians, 8 were not. The research may offer an easy activity to increase cognitive performance in those dealing with Alzheimer's or mild cognitive impairments. So taking a trip down memory lane with the help of your old favorite songs can help give a brain boost. I'm talking like I wrote this. Familiar music has a powerful ability to positively activate the brain, which I always like heard and like looked into. It's like music just opens up parts of your brain. Like think of a song that like you can't even think of it. Like when you have a song and you don't remember it and it plays, you're like, holy shit, I remember this. That song recently for me was Little Kim and Cisco. Fucking what was it called? Lick. How many licks does it take till you get to the center of a oh? That song. Like what's Cisco doing right now? Did he even come out with a thong line? He should have came out with a thong like apparel line. Because if he didn't, he dropped the bag on that one. Now think of like what would your song be at the old folks home? You throw it on a what is the old folks home gonna be? Because you think about like the old folks home and they had like whatever record players or 8 tracks or fucking whatever there else, like cassettes. So like we're gonna have to use like the iPhone 29 and listen to old songs on Spotify HDR. Mine would be Project Pat. I would listen to a lot of Project Pat. I'm like, good googly moogly, that thing's juicy. Hopefully, I have a bad memory, so hopefully that doesn't happen to me. So keep listening to your favorite music. I'm still listening to my top 21 songs from Spotify. I listen to the same music all the time. That's why I forget about old songs until they come on. I'm like, oh yeah, now you're in the rotation of my new music, so you're going to be in the best of 2022, which isn't a bad thing. But yeah. I hope everyone's doing good. Christmas is coming up. I can't wait for it to be over. Not a big Christmas guy. I think I've said that plenty of times, and people are like, oh, you're a Grinch. No, I'm not. Grinch ends up liking Christmas. But I'm happy for the new year to start, even though COVID has been fucking bananas, and I still don't know what's going on. I didn't know there was like a new variant, like Optimus Prime or something. I don't know. I'm scared, and I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I just try to stay healthy. I don't like, what are we supposed to do? I'm getting like legit, like, what are we supposed to do? And like, everyone's always like, oh, new year, new me. It's like, new year, what the fuck is going to happen to me? I don't know, but it's going to be a little bit scary. But yeah, so I was looking up these numbers too. So with the COVID, which is kind of like, this stat is weird to me. So the CDC shows that suicide deaths between 2019, 2020 decreased by 3% overall, by 2% in males and 8% in females, which is great. Suicide numbers down. Love to see it. But listen to this one. However, suicide deaths for males in 3 age groups, 10 to 14, 15 to 24, and 25 to 34, increased. And while suicide deaths decreased amongst white and Asian males, deaths increased in Black, American Indian, Alaskan Native, and Hispanic males. And they don't really have an answer for it right now because the research is probably too early or too soon. But during the pandemic, about 4 in 10 adults in the U.S. reported symptoms of anxiety or depression, compared to 1 in 10 adults who reported between January and June 2019. That's just that's depressing just to read. I do feel bad for a lot of people because mental health affects different people, and even like getting help, everyone has a different reason. It's like if you lose your job or you can't be there for your baby being born and all this other stuff. It's like, how am I going to afford my mortgage if I don't get paid the same way or I don't have a job? Or so I can see this happening for people, but with the different races, I don't know. And the CDC is like, we don't fucking know right now. So it's important to recognize that suicide prevention shouldn't be a one-size-fits-all approach. Like, obviously, if you get a cold, they tell you what to do, like get some rest, drink some water. But you have a mental health issue, there's a whole umbrella of that. And even under the umbrella, it's like your umbrella might be a little bit broken. Your umbrella might be green. It's like everyone's different. And even getting mental health help is crazy in its own. You can only imagine when they break it down, you're like, I need this, or I need that, and this person got this. So I think that's why finding a support system is huge. I'm pretty vocal on like Twitter and Instagram how I'm feeling, and I have a lot of people that reach out. And I'm always like, yeah, I'm good. But it's always nice to know that people are there, even if they say nice things. I think that's enough for a lot of people, especially for me. So I know people out there that do care, because if you take the time to write me a message, it's taking the time out of your life to just check in, for whatever reason why you do it. So anyone that does that to me, I do appreciate it. Um, yeah, it's people do it for the right reasons, and some people unfortunately do it for the wrong reasons. They pretend that they're your friend, but they're actually not. And that's always fun. Although there are shared characteristics and risk factors, anybody who has attempted or died by suicide should not be treated like a number, but as an individual. Say it for the people in the back. But the National Suicide Hotline, I feel like I got to stop putting this out in every episode I have. 1-800-273-8255. That number again is 1-800-273-8255. I've always wanted to do like character work. For like being a voice actor must be fucking awesome. Obviously you get paid well. So if you're like a cartoon character, like I was a big Simpsons fan growing up. I still can't tell you what the name of the people that do the voices. I know Bart Simpson's a woman, and Homer's a guy named Dan with a C and a bunch of letters. And they got bank. They can go anywhere. And people are like, oh, okay, until they start talking. You're like, are you Homer Simpson? But you could probably, you don't even have to record in a studio probably. They probably have those like in their house and they can just say it. I would love to be a voice actor. With my job, I'm on the phone and I feel like my voice can be so monotone. They're like, is this a real person? And I always want to be like, no, press 1 to speak to a new person. I would love to mess with people. I wish we could mess with people more. People deserve to be fucked with all the time. But I did want to wrap up a little bit early. Another thing I fucking read today that drove me insane. People Magazine or People.com had a thing. It was like, what did it say? I gotta look this up because I screenshot it and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It said 6 sexy men and how they've maintained their mental health during the pandemic. A what? What? It's like sexy people have mental health problems too. I know because I'm one. But still, like, why is that an article? Like, why does that have to be pointed out? Because they're in the top 100 hottest people on people.com? Who gives a fuck? Like, one of them, this is what one of them said. I'm a runner and I live on a farm. So I'm outside doing stuff all day. And that keeps me in shape. I think I love to run and it's a kind of therapy for me. Steve Zahn. Thank you, Steve Zahn. And I'm not even hating on Steve Zahn saying that because one, he probably doesn't even know why he like told somebody that. He probably doesn't know he's in people. Is he on the sexiest man list? Someone brought up Steve Zahn today, and then I read that. Is he back? I love you, Steve Zahn. Wrong turn. I've seen it. But is he that sexy? I don't know. Ryan Phillippe's on the list. I get that. Steve Zahn? You're better looking than me, so yeah, I get it. But it's just like, why is people doing that? It's like they didn't even do a good job about it. It's like they're not even like helping break the stigma. They're just like, hey, these hot people have mental health issues and they like to run. It's like, how about you kind of like use that as clickbait to get like dudes, like people at the site, not just a quote about Steve Zahn working on a fucking farm. I don't know. It's unfortunate. So before we close the show, again, this is why I didn't have an introduction because I don't want people like stuck with this episode being like, Jesus Christ. So I was very vocal on this with my personal Instagram, and I posted on Twitter too of the screenshot. But I've always talked about her in my episodes early on, and so my wife Lindsay and I are separating, and we're separated right now, and I always forget the word. It's amicable, amicable. There's Tim's word of the day. She's my best friend. I love Lindsay to death. But yeah, we're going to be going our different ways at some point. And that's going to be hard for both of us. I've been already doing my research with like any problem I have, I just add the word mental health to it. So I've been doing a lot of research. Again, I can't say enough positive things about Lindsay. I love her so much. She's still my best friend. We're still going to be friends. We still want what's best for one another. And yeah, it sucks. Life's not fucking easy, and it just sucks. Like, yeah, like, I don't fucking know, but I just wanted to say that. So, if, yeah, it's gonna be a fucking running thing with my episodes, because like I said, gotta do it until the wheels fall off. Um, fuck. I thought I wasn't gonna cry with that. She's gonna be like, pussy. But yeah, I'm gonna put her bloopers at the end from episode 2. She was the first guest introductor. She did a terrible job, but it came out great. So I'm gonna play her bloopers at the end. But I love you, Linz. All right, let's close with this. Also, speaking of all that, I watched 90 Day Fiancé real quick, and this guy went down to like Panama, and he brought like a huge box of condoms, which I get, but then he brought like pregnancy test.
What is that?
Pregnancy test. We agree we're both ready for it. So you can check yourself at the end of my trip.
Why did he bring those? And he looked so fucking... Is that show real or fake? Because I need to know. But yeah. So my music recommendation is going to be CKY, Close Yet Far. Great song. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but it's Bam Margera's brother's band, who's like the drummer. And then the CKY like brand was like all those DVDs before like Jackass came up. But that's a really chill song. And I saw them live. I think they played it. I'm not too sure, but that's a phenomenal song. And then I want to recommend this movie because it fucking sucked, unless you don't think so. But I want you to watch it. It's on Hulu. It's called Body at Brighton Rock, and it's about like this woman who like works for like fucking whatever. Like she's a wild. I don't even know how to say it. Like the Department of Recreation. Like they like work on trails, and I don't know, she gets lost in the woods and it wasn't supposed to be her route, and then she comes upon a dead body, and there's like a huge bear involved, and there's like some like quote unquote twist at the end. I just need you to watch it, and if you watched it, please contact me. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning into another episode of 20 Tim Minutes. This is episode 57. That introduction today was done by Tim McCarthy of 20 Tim Minutes. You can learn more about me and the podcast at 2010minutes.com. Again, you can download the app on the Apple Store and the Android Store. And don't forget, I got new merch out with the Phoenix Print Company. If you noticed on my last episode, I was wearing the shirt, but we spelled it wrong, and I did not fucking even notice. Job didn't even notice. Like, people didn't notice, but like 1 or 2 people, and they're like, why is it spelled wrong? And I looked at it, I was like, it's not spelled wrong, and I gave them like a laughing emoji because I thought they were fucking messing with me. But in fact, I spelled psychopath wrong because I'm a psychopath. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. I love you guys, and have a good one.
I'm not meant to... Is it over?
No, keep going.
All right. Okay.
Take it out.
Hold on. Hello, this is... Hold on. Can you pause it?
No, keep going.
Oh, all right. Hi, this is Tim's wife, Lindsay McCarthy. You're listening. I'm not good at this.
No, that's cool. The first one was good. Keep going.
Hello, my name is Lindsay McCarthy.
Hi, this is Tim's wife, Lindsay McCarthy, and you're listening to 20 Tim Minutes.
Why do you sound a lot louder than I do?
Because you got to talk into it.
Okay. Hi, my name is Lindsay McCarthy, and I'm Tim McCarthy. Damn it, I keep saying that. Okay, hold on. I got it.
Come on.
Hi, this is Tim's wife, Lindsay McCarthy, and you're listening to 20 Tim Minutes. Hello, this is Tim's wife, Lindsay McCarthy, and you're listening to 20 Tim Minutes.
This podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If you are feeling suicidal, please dial 911.